all this kind of stuff, which we could hook into as soon as we are ready. Meaning we don't have to wait on anybody. If we're ready, if we figure out how it works, we could hook up into it.
Right.
And it's 5%. That's really your call. Just before Shelly gets it, let me just show him, Brendan. Let me show him the app, what we have done already.
Yeah.
Let him see it. You want to see it?
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you
Okay, so I'm gonna share.
Okay.
I'm gonna share. You see my screen?
Yeah.
All right. So, not everything's set up, but can you see this, or is it like?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, great. Here we go. This is an opening page.
Beauty.
Where you got, I just put in this text, obviously, but one second, let me just move you guys. Oh, how do I do this? I just want to be able to see you while I'm talking. One second, where are you? No, you're still not here. How do I move this? Move. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to see you. So basically, this is, just the headline for the campaign, some basic metadata over here. Then you get the campaign owner,
Yeah.
which will obviously be your name, the logo. This will be a share button to share, the campaign and the app. This is the story. Pretty simple.
Yep.
Here, this is not complete. This is just the basic, UI, how it'll be at a first glance. Here we'll have like a progress bar, how much money is donated. We could add in more stuff. We could add in names of donors and all that kind of stuff, later on. So this is just pretty much static. We don't have this hooked up yet. Then over here we have the donate blood. Don't get fooled. This is supposed to be red. We have to just get it red and
That's okay.
cool little graphic that shows
It's all under construction. I get it.
how much blood. And then this is where we did a lot of work. If you press this button to donate, it sends you here where you get a list. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. You get a list of all locations in your area.
I like it.
Then you can view that on a map.
That's really cool.
And if you want to just go right ahead, you just click this. Boom. You're getting directions now to that location.
That's beautiful.
And then here you could go search for, let's say, Los Angeles Street. Let's go for it. And again, here you go.
Beauty. That looks awesome.
So that's like where most of our work was put into, setting up the UI. We don't have any of the back end stuff, which might be, the more important stuff with the donate money. That is going to be our next job after this call. After we figure out exactly where we're going. And I think, Brendan, did you finish course yet?
No, I'm still halfway done with the background task.
Okay, so you're basically done because after that, after you finish background,
Yeah.
the next two ones should go fairly quickly.
Yeah.
So
I'm really trying to finish it like next week. I don't want to do it anymore. Like, I don't want to drag it longer.
yeah, so I mean, we have a lot of the app is already. We obviously our plans with the app are to go much farther than this. This is just the MVP, the minimum viable product. We could take it much farther, and we could add multiple campaigns and stuff like that. But for now, we just want to get up and running with the one campaign that just donates money to a single place. And from there, once we have that up, then we could work on, furthering.
So I'm not sure how this works, so I'm looking forward to a good answer or not. But if there is a way to, like, I know that you said that there's no way to link the UI behind the scenes of the website that actually tracks it for me. So like for me, I see what that tracking is, but there's no way for us to integrate that into the app because they don't share it. Is that correct?
Meaning if you get them to share it and they set up an API, which means a way for us programmatically to get that data, meaning you can get on the phone and tell it us, but we can't put that in the app. We have to have some sort of server on their server that will give us all that data. If they do that, then we could go up from there. We would still have to send them to actually donate to your website, because we don't want to handle the money ourselves, because there's a lot of compliance issues that you have to take care of. But if we could get that data, then we could just have a button that basically sends you to the website, you donate on the website, and then all the data will be able to get in the app and show it.
Okay.
But I don't know if I really don't know if they do it. If they don't have it set up, these things are not easy to set up. It's not like something they can do overnight. It takes a lot of coding in the background to set up an API for us to use. So I don't know if they'll be willing to do it, or if they want, or how quick they can do it. But they might be able to. That you could always ask. Nothing would happen,
They do is say no.
Yeah, they could always say no, and they could, or they could say, hey, we already have it. We just didn't, we didn't think anybody wanted it. Here it is. You never know what they could say,
Right.
You'll find out. You find out by asking.
Exactly.
The other option, if that doesn't work, is to work through this it's sort of like a GoFundMe type of idea.
Yeah.
Right. So it's basically that. It's just for charity, for I assume there's a 501(c) or some sort of like legal charity, right?
Yep.
This organization. So this site is, I think, basically just for organizations. It's not a GoFundMe. Anybody can set up a GoFundMe. This is a charity-specific website, but it has behind it, a way of accessing all the data.
So basically, if in a perfect world, let's wave a magic wand here. Let's say I call whoever it is. They say, yeah, we don't have that yet, but that is a possibility because you aren't handling any of the money. You click the donate button. It sends you to my page. You get to see all the stuff that I've created on my page. And then once they donate, boom, that data is just shared with the amount and who, not like the credit card information or anything like that. And what that does is it populates it on the app and then just makes it look pretty, right? Is that what we're kind of thinking about?
Right. Basically, yes. Yes.
Okay.
That's what it would do. This is something I've been going on with some of the other teammates here. I personally like having as much in-app as possible.
Yeah.
Because I just think that gives a more robust feeling for the app.
Absolutely.
But I don't know if we can do that either way, because with this just giving API, I don't know if we could do that in-app. We might have to either way send them to a website. So I don't know, but that's just something I like. I like when everything's like,
And if they were like partnering with us, I think that would be the case. Like they would agree as well, not to have to send them to that website. But since they aren't and they don't even know about it, but they couldn't even build a functional app by themselves. So it's like, what do they even know?
What they try to build a functional app, the LLS.
Yeah, and it failed. It was called My LLS, and they told us that it was going to be great and it was perfect. And then legitimately 2 weeks before we talked, they said it was not even, or 2 weeks before the kickoff, it was, don't use it anymore because it just sucks so bad. And I'm like, how? Like, I feel like, what?
Did you even see it?
I wasn't even able to sign in. It wouldn't even work.
Oh.
So like, that's how bad it was. It's like, man, I feel like signing in step one of it.
But that could be because they were trying to do much more functionality than we're trying to do. Meaning they were probably trying to donate money, meaning do all the credit card processing and all that kind of stuff, which we're basically shifting off to somebody else, either through the Just Giving or through the website or through something. We really don't want to handle that, and maybe that's what they have trouble with. Because setting up a basic app, if they set up a website and they have, its organization, I find it a little strange that they couldn't get an app up and running.
I'm with you. That's why when I found out that we couldn't use it, I was like, man, that really sucks, because how easy was it going to be to just get people to download the app and it's right there, like, oh yeah, the app could either take a QR code or something like that. Like, this is my campaign. Boom. There it is. Donate. Pow. You're done. Snap a picture of your credit card. Type in the 3-digit code on the back. Don't send any nudies and you're good to go.
Yeah, but it's a lot. To be honest, credit card processing and all that type of stuff, it is a lot more difficult than that. So I understand why they were trying to do that.
Totally.
It was, yeah. I was on the phone. I was on a meeting with one guy. He was like teaching me something about coding, and he was telling me, like, I saw his code that he had for getting a credit card, doing just credit card processing. He had like hundreds and thousands of lines of code just to do that. So yeah, it's not that guy, Brendan. You remember when the Scott who disappeared? I haven't seen him in years. When he hooked me up with this guy about Flutter,
Yeah.
he hooked me up. This guy was on the phone with me for like 3 hours teaching me about it. But then he showed me like his app that he was working on with some sort of hotel app, whatever. He was showing me what the credit card processing, the code was. I'm talking about classes, files, and packages like you can't imagine just to deal with credit card processing. So
how do
it's definitely hard.
So how does, like, when you listen to I listen to How I Built This or whatever, NPR shit, it's a podcast.
Yeah.
So when they're saying they were up day and night, what they were doing was coding basically the whole time to get that app to work.
Yeah, you could be. I mean, we split this app up between 4 people, and if you want to get it up quick, you got to be up day and night. I mean, it's
yeah. Obviously, this is not that. I would never ask that, nor would I want. You guys have lives, but so like Airbnb, something like that has to be super secure. How does that functionality work? I mean, do they have
so they coded that. I'm sure somebody like Airbnb, they didn't take from any third parties. They did everything themselves. They probably put hundreds and thousands of man hours into just coding the security of that app. Like,
when I hear they had to raise a couple rounds of, $2 or $3 million, what they were doing was paying the people to code that.
Paying coders, they probably have a lot of meaning they have a lot of back end stuff probably they have to pay for. I don't know who covers, problems with the houses or these type of things, insurance claims or lawsuits. Somebody got murdered in Airbnb. I'm sure they're suing Airbnb to the wazoo. There's a lot of, other, costs involved. For this particular app, there's not really any costs involved besides the coding. But yeah, I mean, the more complex the app gets, the more man hours you're going to need. These apps need hundreds I mean, then you read that Facebook was made over a weekend, but that's like 1 in a million,
Yeah, but they didn't take credit cards until like 2009 or whatever. So
yeah, and the Facebook, I'm sure, that was released over that weekend was buggy as crap, and you couldn't do anything probably for the first month.
Right.
It's just a good story, that we did it over one weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So I don't know where Shelly is. She was supposed to be here. Did you message her?
Yeah, I did.
And Anuja's still on? She's hiding over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hi, Anuja.
I'm here.
Hola.
So we weren't discussing the actual code, Anuja. We kept discussing more the back end with the money. The actual coding questions that we had, I guess we'll discuss when we get everybody, on. And by the way, just let me hijack for a second. Anuja, the view page does work. If you go at the edge of the screen, believe it or not. It probably has something to do with, are you seeing my screen right now?
Yeah.
You see it?
Mm-hmm.
Saw it? Saw that?
Yeah.
Saw that?
Yeah.
And watch this. You go in the middle. Probably something in Android, has some sort of default that if you go this far away from the edge of the screen, it will override the maps drag and instead use the view pages drag. Because as soon as I go to the edge, it works, and if I do it from the middle, I do that.
Do you have any kind of a margin set for that map view, because of which you're able to scroll from the edge?
There's no margin. You can see. I'll check in the code, but I don't see any margin one second. What am I looking at? The blood fragment? No, not the blood fragment. The um, current location map fragment. Nope, no margin.
No. I was actually going to add a test case for checking this swipe feature from the left side and the right edge of the screen. So I was actually going to work on that. So probably that will pass the test for sure.
Right.
If it's working right now.
That's probably that's some default, like in, which makes a lot of sense that in Android that, you know, that this is probably a common occurrence. So let's leave the edge to be able to swipe.
Yes.
And as soon as I'm like within like a centimeter of the edge, it swipes. Anymore, and it doesn't. Be like this far away. Okay. Brandon, anything else we really had to? I mean, this is the main thing that we got to figure this out before we can move onward.
I think I had something, but I can't remember.
Listen, I would love to have this up within 2-3 weeks, and I think we can do it as soon as we figure out. I mean, again, we could have MVP up as soon as we figure out the money aspect.
Yeah, in my opinion, I'd say do the just getting now.
Yeah, I don't think LLS will, set up a whole backend.
Plus,
right. So
we
then
don't want to wait on that. So
we should probably move forward with the just giving.
Yeah, and then if there is a future, I will still talk to them because, like I said, it doesn't hurt to. But if they decide to do this and then for maybe next year's campaign or a different campaign for a different type of donation sort or cause. So like if a different cancer or breast cancer or Susan Komen or whatever these apps may be, then they can have their own rules whether they want to share the API, I think is what you called it.
Yeah.
Because if it's functional and then you can show them here, this is functional, why couldn't you build a functional app?
Right.
Obviously, we wouldn't be that rude, but like.
Right. Once you mention it, what I would think is just let's say we want to going further with the app, right? Let's say we want to let somebody start a campaign. Let's focus this app on cancer research, right? And let's say somebody wants to start a campaign for breast cancer research, right? So there's no need to write a new app for that, meaning let them start a campaign in this app, a new campaign for a new thing. Yeah. And if that's the case, you really, because we're going to have one code base, meaning we're not going to be coding special code for each right. So then the smartest thing would be to work with a backend API that could work for everybody. Meaning, let's say I forgot what name you said, the breast cancer research organization does have an API, but the LLS does not have an API, and the bone cancer research center does not have an API to get the data. Then you're just going to be in limbo with all the different campaigns. Rather have them all use one central just giving, for example, or some other organization, and they set their campaigns there, and then we could have one code base that just works for everybody.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's smart. In looking forward to branching this out, obviously the concern here is not just one cancer society. It's hopefully to get everybody to be able to work with this, right?
Right.
So then in looking forward, it's much smarter to go with a back end that's not specific to any specific research society, etc.
Yeah, it's like creating a framework. Just create a framework, have your base
Exactly.
ready, and then just give whatever functionality you want, create an APK specific to that or whatsoever, and then you can just,
Right, like this. You just tell anybody start a campaign, you must first set up a campaign on just giving. and they do that, and then you get everything, and everybody's on the same page. You're able to get everybody's data the same exact way. Everything will look the same, will act the same, will get all the same points of interest. It just, as you broaden it, it's much smarter that way, I think.
Yeah.
In my mind, what I think you're saying was building like the Wix or the Squarespace of cancer care.
Yeah, basically. You're just instead of making your own website, you're just making a campaign on this app.
Right.
That campaign will be specific and have all the information specific to you, and all the
whatever color you
information
want,
specific to you.
picture.
Right.
You can put all of your campaigning events. You can put, on that front page all the details.
Exactly. And let me just show you. I just want to show you like how it would work. Let me just open up my browser. So if you go to just for example, this is the one we found would be the best one. This is Just Giving. I'm still sharing, right? You guys can see me, right? Okay, great. Let's say press get started. You do join us today. It's just a process, and then you'll be able to do all these things, right? You'll set up fundraising page, and then we'll be able to take any data you put on this site. You'll be building sort of your information on this site, and then we'll be taking that and bringing that into the app.
Right.
Wait, so I got a question. So when a user decided to donate money, are we sending the money directly to PayPal, and PayPal pays Just Giving if Just Giving is the API?
So this was something that we try to get with that phone call, which never ended up working out, right? If we would be able to have some sort of direct way in the app to send the money, to send the PayPal to Just Giving, or we'd have to actually send them to the site. It would be much better user experience if everything could just be done on that page. You press donate money,
Right.
you put in your you say PayPal, you press OK, and then PayPal does the transaction to Just Giving. We don't know though yet if we could do that.
Okay, so in my mind, the ideal would be to have PayPal as a middle person between the app and the Just Giving, right?
Yes, actually, yeah. Meaning that correct. If we would be able to just have PayPal to Just Giving, that would be perfect, right? Meaning you press a button, it brings up PayPal automatically sending to Just Giving. And like this, we don't have to worry about compliance because we're not directing them. They're not paying us, they're paying Just Giving through PayPal.
Yeah. And so when a user donates to PayPal, PayPal pays Just Giving, and then Just Giving uploads the new information back into our app, right, using the APIs.
Yeah, we'll be getting all the new after. Probably the best way to set it would be like sort of on like a timer to always check for new updates because it's gonna be hopefully 10, 15, 100, 1,000 users with the constant updates. So you're not just gonna update on the donation from this specific user.
Okay, so with that in mind, what we are not sure about is we're not sure about Just Giving. Is Just Giving capable of?
I'm still listening. I'm listening.
Okay. So are we confused about whether or not Just Giving is capable of receiving PayPal's money, or?
Yeah, if they're capable of receiving it, and how exactly we would set that up with PayPal in the app. That's what we need to figure out. Meaning, let's say they do accept it. How exactly do we set up the PayPal in the app to send to Just Giving? And then we have to figure out the API exactly how to get that information from Just Giving. We have to somebody has to research the API.
Yep. In the API section for the developer, the Just Giving developer, under the API section, they have some APIs. I think I remember they have APIs for PayPal.
They did, but the question is, We have to. They had something about PayPal. We just have to figure out exactly how that works. You know,
Right.
exactly how that works. Because again, we don't really want to even. We don't want to take that information, meaning even anybody's PayPal account. We want them just to log into PayPal themselves. We're not touching that, and they'll just send the money to just giving. Let me see. Also look at the API. Tools.
I think we really need to sit down with one of those Just Giving developers to talk about like what we're trying to do and how can they help us or
Yeah, you can see right here on my screen. There's definitely some way to work with API with PayPal. I just don't know exactly. Can you see what I'm reading right now?
Yeah.
This looks like something that we're basically looking for. See, when you make the call, the customer is presented with an in-app PayPal login screen and the payment process included within your app.
Okay, so what I'm thinking is if we're gonna use PayPal libraries, I think one of the functions will be determining where that money is going, and then it sends the user to a PayPal login view or something, and then
Right.
when it comes back, if it's completed and approved, it comes back to the app, and then
Right.
we can set up a function. At that time, we can update any activity that's going on, and then the user will be able to see if the payments has been updated. So that's I think that should be the flow of it. See, look.
Right here, you just set the recipient for the payment.
Yep. So the recipient will be
Whatever.
the campaign, which is the on Just Giving.
Exactly. Listen, that should work out. I don't think we have any to worry about any compliance issues and whatever if the money's going directly through this through PayPal. I mean,
Yeah.
security. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, I would think that if they're providing the SDK for this, they have the security
Yeah.
set up. Um, PayPal MPL security. PayPal MPL. I mean, it says it's secure, right? Right here, PayPal Payment Libraries provides a secure, extensible, and scalable way to add PayPal functionality to your native mobile apps. They say it's secure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're not doing any of the processing.
And then you can, without needing to open a web view or anything. So that's
Yeah. See, this is how it works. Buy with PayPal, and stuff happened.
and then other stuff.
Yeah. We
And
need
then
to be.
You could probably
secure.
track it from there.
Well, you could track.
Maybe
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe there's a button you press that indicates how much that auto populates a line in the PayPal, so that whenever you click that button can be used to populate the number. I don't even know if that's possible, but like
What a number of how much to donate?
yeah. So like when I go to my LLS app right now,
Yeah.
if I go right into it.
Brendan, you can share this. Should I stop sharing? You want to share?
No, he's doing it on his phone.
But if you do it, you can probably share on this and then show them what we're talking about.
Okay, I'm stopping. I'm gonna stop. You take over.
Okay, which website?
pages.mwoy.org. It's pages.
Right there.
There you go.
Oh,
There's one down.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so then if you go to donate now on the right, are you sharing?
Yeah.
Okay. See how it says select your gift amount?
Yeah.
Do you think that could populate? So if you
I
go
don't know. I mean, we'd have to look into this.
because then it
It goes to the LLS.
yeah, donate.lls.org. So this app even goes to a different one. And then you could even use PayPal down here, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Donate.lls.org. Right. I mean, that's just a microsite that's inside the lls.org site.
Yep.
Let me see this.
I doubt they have an API.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, let's stick with our plan, which is let's just try to use the PayPal libraries, and then just try to do what we had in mind, which is use PayPal as a middle person,
Right.
and then
Will that
use that
info
to
still go through though?
still go through.
How much they donated and all that?
Yes, because
Oh,
just
nice.
Giving API has an API for that.
Oh, okay, nice.
But it would still be going through Just Giving, which would be charging you that 5%. Then they'd hit you up for the transaction fee and this and that. Which the transaction fee you'd have no matter who you use. Any credit card processor is going to charge you 1.5 to 2 something percent transaction fee. That's just
Which is negligible on a couple hundred.
right. The 5% is more of a significant amount, but that's the trade-off of getting that.
Yeah.
Right. At least it'll be operational.
Yeah, exactly. And it's an understandable thing that any of these sites always, I mean, people don't necessarily think of it, but all these sites, they have to make money. Almost nobody's here a true nonprofit, right? They have to pay their people and whatever, so they're always going to take off something off the top.
Yeah. Or hopefully they're adding to it, so it's like $100 goes to LLS, and then $5 goes to
Right.
whoever.
Right.
Brandon, can
But
you
you would have
Google?
to. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, can you Google GitHub Just Giving? I actually came across their GitHub repository, and there is some implementation in PHP by some guy for Just Giving API. I mean, the guy has come up with some examples for by integrating the Just Giving API into his application.
Okay.
So just
GitHub.
Google GitHub Just Giving. Yeah. So yeah, so that is their repository.
Recruitment test donation. Front end. So which one do you want me to?
No, not that one. There should be one more. Some woo giving or something. I don't know. Can you go back? Oh yeah. Okay, let me just put the link.
Was it an Android?
I've posted the link. No, the guy has done some coding in PHP. He's created some client for Just Giving API, and he's done some coding in PHP.
Oh, is it this one? Wrapper? A PHP wrapper?
I don't know. I've posted the link in the chat group.
This one?
Yes. So run charity API test, run donation API test, search API test, event API test. And he's done some coding as well if you look at his repository for that.
Oh, woo giving.
WooCommerce. It's the new WooCommerce, which is the e-commerce thing. It's sort of like Shopify and that type of stuff.
I don't know how much this is going to be helpful, but I just came across that.
Yeah, I mean, this is all in.
It just makes use of the payment gateway to his application, the Just Giving payment gateway, and that's what probably we are looking at, the payment gateway.
Well, it depends. I mean, if we're going to go directly through PayPal, where's he using the payment gateway? In which file? Just Giving client?
Am I supposed to click something?
Look at the include.
The INC.
Inc. API, Just Giving client.php. I think that's what she's referring to. I'm not sure exactly. No, that's not getting the payments. Count charity API. Yeah, but this is all in PHP, so it's like French to me right now. I haven't looked at PHP in a long time.
API client, donation API.
Yeah, this is all in PHP.
Have you done anything with PHP before?
I did many moons ago.
Okay.
I haven't done it in a very long time. Listen, we're not going to need, meaning if we're doing the donations through PayPal, then what we're going to need the API for is really just the data, which we could probably just use the retrofit or OKHTTP or one of those libraries to query directly the endpoint and get that data.
Which one did you looked at before?
I was looking at something in Google PayPal MPL, or maybe looking at APIs. Looking at APIs. SDKs. Try maybe REST SDKs, or you could just Google. It's called MPL.
Oh yeah, MPL.
MPL PayPal Android. How to accept payments in Android. Right there, right there. You got it right.
First one?
Second.
The second one. Oh. Well, I'm not sure if we could use this actually.
You're not sure
If you
if you use this?
look at the top. Look at the top, all the way in the beginning. See that? Important. Adaptive in the limited release product. It is restricted to select partners for approved use cases. Should not be for new integration without partners from PayPal.
What does that mean? Adaptive payment.
I don't know. That's what they call this whole site.
It's restricted to select partners for approved use cases.
So this is, I mean, if we go with this approach, we'll be having a button called PayPal or something, and that will get
Right.
redirected to the PayPal account, wherein wherein we can process the payments, whatever the donation that the user has made, and then do what? It will return us some result or something after the payment is processed so this is going to be outside our activity, right? So whatever processing and stuff would happen.
We won't be processing the payment, but it'll all be done in like a model view in our app. Like it'll pop up a PayPal.
So when a user donates money, it transfers the user to the PayPal account, which they can sign up or whatever. And they will have payment ready, and then all they have to do is just say pay money or send money, and then after that it will come back to the app. So then there may be a callback that says, if approved, then update my API. If it doesn't, then just be static.
That's very possible. Yeah.
Yes. So So for the PayPal processing, it will be outside our application. Once it's back into the application, it will return some result saying the payment went through or there was some error. I don't know how does PayPal work. But
I remember there's a diagram that says once the user clicked on the PayPal or the pay button, our app loses control. So it's all up to PayPal at that point.
Right. You're downloading. You install an SDK, a PayPal SDK, which is going to take control. Right. You see, download the Android Mobile Payment Library SDK. You have to add the jar file, and then it's going to take control in that situation.
PayPal logins.
Generate a PayPal checkout button and save it. Oh, I think this is very usable.
Yeah, it looks very usable. I just don't like what they're writing in the beginning. That.
I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah, I'm not either sure. One thing this site sucks. come on.
Notification is the color of the payment and one. The application owner must have a PayPal business account. Sender and receiver can. This is tricky.
Yeah, it looks a little tricky.
I think we should really be having a meeting with PayPal and not Just Giving. Because all Just Giving really does is just hold the information of the campaign.
Right. We don't need to meet with them. If we have a way of sending them the money through PayPal, that would do the.
Then we wouldn't have to pay the 5% to Just Give.
No, we would.
You
We
still
would
have,
still, if we want the data, because PayPal's not going to give us the data.
I think we need to do some more research on this PayPal SDK.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, PayPal. I mean, Just Giving is just holding onto the data, like just static.
Right. It's just a way for us to send the money to a known organization and for them to hold on to all this static data and have an API for us to get that data.
Yeah, it is PayPal. That's the engine in between these two layers. So.
Yeah, you definitely get a call back when the result is done. There's a way to override that.
So I'm just thinking how we should design that class. So inside that class, there should be a property that says, like a bank account address of the campaign, because each campaign must be able to receive money, right? So in order to receive the money, we must have an address that goes to that. So in that campaign class, there should be a property, like a static property that holds that data. So and then also you would have a pay. I'm just thinking out loud here. So there should be another payment function that that uses that endpoint, the amount, and then it also should be a callback. So if the callback is successful, then the app will update itself, and then the gauge, the amount donated gauge, the percentage, that will be updated.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think you're going to update that regardless, and at an interval, like try to have that updated live. So when any person donates, everybody will get updated. So maybe you'd somehow have a way to push. I'm not sure exactly how to do it,
Right.
but you'd have to figure out exactly how to do that. But not necessarily. You don't just want when this specific person sends a payment, to update, because then when John from Chicago sends the payment, you also wanted to update for Bob in Los Angeles. Like you want it to be synchronized.
Okay, so let's forget about the LLS payment thing because they don't have an endpoint for us.
Right.
Let's just focus on the middle person, which is and figure out a way that we can launch PayPal in our app, and then somehow get the endpoint. I mean, the bank address or whatever they call it for each campaign.
Well, the endpoint for each campaign, the address would have to come through Just Giving. The best way to figure that out is to actually set up an account.
Oh, true. Yep.
But for that, I'm just looking at the screen. You need the charity email address, the nonprofit name, the EIN number, which is, the basically similar to the social security number for a LLC or a corporation. Basically, all this information you get from LLS.
Okay.
I don't know why they're not asking for charity ID, because charity IDs are different than EINs.
Right.
Yeah, this is where we need Troy. He's an accountant.
Oh yeah, Troy. Like maybe we can ask Troy about that.
He's an accountant, but we just got to go with what they're asking for, and for some reason they're asking for an EIN number, which Ryan would have to get from LLS. What's their legal chat? You have it?
Yeah, let's go to my. Hold on.
Then, do you mind setting up this account? I mean, it doesn't charge you anything. Nothing happens. It's just a way for us to actually see what's going on. How old is she? That's a she, I assume, right?
Yeah, 18 months.
18 months. First? You're first?
Yeah, this is yep. Not ours together, but
Yeah, they get easier.
Did you sign up
in
for
4
the
years.
Google I/O?
I signed up for it. I honestly don't know if I'm gonna, even if I win, if I'll be able to go, because my wife is due around then.
Oh, okay.
But I signed up because if I win, then I could go. I'll go if I can.
The tickets if you not if you
What?
can't give me the ticket.
Yeah, if they let me transfer it.
Okay, so what is the action item for Ryan here? Does he have to do anything on his side for us?
Well, let's see. First thing would be the first thing we need is a campaign set up on Just Giving, if that's how we're deciding to go.
here, I have the EIN number right here.
So you wanna? I don't want to put it in because you'll just I might need a password from you or whatever. Go to Brendan. Can you take him to justgiving.com?
Yep.
And when you go there, just go to let's Just Giving for Causes. Sign up. Join us today.
Join us today.
They have that right.
Sign up.
Get started or join us today. Something. Well,
Do you want to use
start fundraising. Go back. Probably you want to do start fundraising. Because this is gonna. Hey, get started. Start fundraising. Let's try that. No. You right. Start fundraising. Because I got sent to a different screen. Okay, a charity.
What was our thing again? Gmail.com. I think it's
OLCorg@gmail.com.
Probably 4L.
You have to, but that
4LLC.
you have to sign up.
Yeah, just. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Looking at 4LLS.
Yeah, we for some reason we named it LLC.
Oh, that's okay. That's
Is that the right one? Is that the right one?
Let me check. Let me check. 1 second. I have it 4 LLC 4 LLS. Ah, 1 second. Gmail. I know I did it. I set it up. I should have.
I think it's cure cancer or something.
Yeah, the password is definitely 4llc.org@gmail.com. The password is cure cancer.
Yeah.
Cure
Okay.
cancer, but you can set whatever you want now. No, put in Brian's name, I guess.
Oh, Ryan.
There's no. You got it though.
Bull. Yeah, that. Bull scare. Okay, so the password will be cure cancer. Okay.
Sweet.
Okay.
Okay. I had a whole different screen when I was trying to do this. Okay, let's see what happens. See, me, it was asking for a lot more information.
Okay, let's just put it. I'll put my address 2927 Westbrook. Country.
Fort Wayne.
Town.
IN.
Oh. Charity. Search for the cause you want to support.
No, you want to make a cause. Why is it not letting you do that?
Try putting in the LLS cause.
No, we haven't even set it up.
Yeah, but LLS is the cause. Put LLS.
Oh,
Cumulum Lymphoma Society, yeah.
See, they already have something?
oh, they already. Okay.
So
This makes life a little easier, in a way.
put MWOY.
Add your own.
Man, yeah, add your own to continue.
Let's see.
It's something else. It's a campaign called Man of the Year.
Just last.
February 22nd to March 5th, or May 5th. I'm doing this in memory of someone. Larry Harmeyer, H-A-R, and Y-E-R, male.
Husband.
Other family member.
Cool.
It was 4LC or dot or at gmail.com or what was it?
Oh, so this is the campaign page.
Okay. Let's see. Now.
Well, hold on. Are we only doing it for Leukemia Society at the moment, or?
Yeah, at the moment, that's what this campaign is for. So that's what I just want to use this to try to figure out exactly what our endpoints are going to be. Donate, press donate. Let's see what happens.
So instead of it going to donate.lls.com, it goes to donate.justgiving.
And it has all that.
Deal.
Okay, but it's not telling us an endpoint to donate to this for PayPal.
Continue.
Go donate. Give $50.
So.
All right, now you can go.
PayPal. See, PayPal's right there.
No, but where is this going? Like, it's going into Ryan's.
Right. It's not going. Meaning, it's going into the charity. Meaning, you're collecting for a charity that already is registered on Just Giving, right?
The charity itself is registered. The campaign that I'm running
Exactly.
here is not.
Right. So
I only win that, which it doesn't matter if I win or lose. I'm trying to raise money, but like, it only accounts for what I raised if it goes through that site, I'm guessing.
through your site.
Correct.
Oh.
Oh, it has to be through that?
But if this is shown there, then what could happen is them acknowledge it as long as it's between the two.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope that if they
would not be like, nope, this doesn't.
Yeah.
Right. If you're donating, if you're going through, they have this. They're already set up with this, right? Obviously, somebody set it up for them who had their information, so they must have set it up. So then I would hope that they would credit this. Hey, he walked away. Go press continue to PayPal. Go donate $50, man. I want to see what the endpoint's going to be, what it's going to say. No, he's going to kill you. He's back.
With the baby. Yeah. Why? You just wanted to party with me? Yeah, I get it.
Let's see. But it's not sending me. I want to know who's it going to. It's not telling me who's it going to. Like
You'll be able to review your order. The transaction will appear on your statement as PayPal Just Giving.
Okay.
It requires your billing address to keep going. So we're sending you back to Just Giving. But all it had to do was sign up.
No.
Yeah, I'll take her.
Okay, but it's not telling us. We want to know which PayPal account we're going to have to send to.
Hey.
Which it's not helping us out for that.
Well, I think you get that address by using those APIs. So Ryan's account has already been set up, so we can get a handle of the campaign, and from that campaign we can somehow find the actual payment address for that.
Okay, that could be right.
Just Giving API.
Oh, sorry. Endpoints. Donate.
That tickle?
No.
Get donation ID by? No, that's not it.
That's just going to give you a specific donation.
Right.
We want to figure out where the we want to figure out where to direct the payment.
You want some? No? This? Yeah? Yeah? No, come on. Why you gotta eat it? Huh? Why you gotta eat it? Who knows where that's been?
Yeah, we need to find that out.
Hey, what was the password you set?
Cure cancer.
Any capitals?
Cure with the capital C.
Oh.
What was it?
Nope.
Gmail.
Oh, well, let's see. Let's see.
It stretches.
Do we want to send him an email and ask him, or?
Maybe. Meaning we would send them. We want to send money through PayPal from outside the site. What PayPal account would we send it to?
Gotta be 80.
What is it? The bank address or what?
I guess we want the PayPal.
We were wondering what should payment address maybe for that specific individual. Campaign. Does it make sense? We're trying to set up a PayPal payment system between our app and Just Giving, and we're wondering what should the payment address.
How to get the payment, how to get the PayPal account address for a specific charity.
Yeah, how to get that payment
It's okay.
address for that specific.
You could put in like parentheses like that we're collecting, which charity we actually are collecting for, you know, just in case they'll be able to give us right away the information. I mean, just write like parentheses, we are collecting for the LLS leukemia, whatever charity, yeah. Which already has which is already registered on Just Giving.
Website. Now, what's your email? I'm gonna put you in the loop.
Me?
Yeah.
ARI BRE
ERE.
B as in boy, RECHER dev@gmail.com.
Okay. Okay, Anuja, do you want to be in the loop?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I mean, that's okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Great.
Okay, I think
So we have to look into PayPal. We have to look into the Just Giving, and then we have to
yeah.
just work it from there.
Okay. Yep. Sounds good. So
All right.
our action item is find out about PayPal SDK and then find out how we should get the payment address from Just Giving.
Right.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Great.
Great. I've got this recorded so Shelly can watch it.
Perfect.
Alrighty.
Awesome. You guys rule. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Do
you.
we want to
Yeah.
cover anything else while we have Ryan here?
Not that I could think of.
Okay.
If any questions too, you can put me on the phone and then, or I can hop on the Zoom next time as well.
Okay, great. Awesome.
Okay, cool. All right, guys.
Thanks
All
again.
right, we'll see you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye-bye.